Weekly debrief, accelerated retirement. Attention to brief. Let's go ahead and get airborne. Man, it's Thursday. Some of these weeks feel like a lifetime, man. From solo Amazon to today seems like a billion years. It's like being a dog, man. Like 1 hour in this market is a lifetime. Join me at 1 if you want to get in one of the investment clubs. As of this morning, 3 snipers this week, max profits $6,400. I can't annualize that's $350,000. And folks, these were, I'm not going to steal from my brief, but it ain't hard. I don't know what to say. I mean, you guys know what I do. I mean, look at this one. I'm like, hey, great snipe. I'm heading to yoga. I don't. Here, look. And you know what? I'll explain this afternoon too, because I wrote, hey, I'm heading to yoga. That one made like $2,300 yesterday afternoon. Heading to yoga. I put in an order with E-Trade so it didn't auto close. I'm glad somebody asked over here. And here's again the benefit of being in Lifetime, because you can ask me questions 24/7. Not 24, but if I'm Donald Trump lying in bed on Adderall at 2 a.m, I can do it. So yeah, Greg asked, like, hey man, you use the term auto close. What does that mean? So some of my accounts, whether it's, I think it happens in my kids' accounts because they know not to mess with my accounts, Susie and I's, with the portfolio margining accounts, but they can, on page 152 of your brokerage agreement, your broker can do anything they want. What? You heard me, didn't you? They can do whatever they want to your account. Hell, they can seize your funds. Look at Sam Bankman fraud. Like, yeah, we're not, you're not allowed to take your money out anymore. It's our money. Wait, what? Anyway, so all brokers, for your protection, we might, manage these trades for you. And that happened once or twice before I got on E-Trade and took a flamethrower to the guys. I'm like, do not ever do that again in one of my portfolios. Because standard, I'm sitting here and all of a sudden, a sniper shot's closed. I'm like, where'd that trade go? Oh, well, the risk, the auto, our risk department closed that trade because I'm like, did you see the fucking closing print? It hit for max profit. And here I am filing a complaint with FINRA and all that type of stuff. And then I'm reminded, since I built Options House in Chicago, that on page whatever, it says they can do whatever they want. I'm like, son of a bitch. But the portfolio margining guy who I knew, who used to work at the firm I worked at in Chicago, was like, dude, you throw in a nickel bid, man, and it tells the system that you're managing it. I'm like, son of a bitch. So lesson learned. So it's mainly my kids' accounts because they know my accounts now. The portfolio margining accounts, they don't. They know I know what's going on. How about that? Does that make sense? Has that's probably happened to people in this room where you're sitting there and you're like, where did that trade go? And they closed it, right? But you look at these, there was a couple snipers this week, folks, where, in the last 30 minutes, it was like, oh my God, panic. I'm like, I ain't panicking for shit. Look at the open interest. That's where the moving average, I kind of use my thinking brain and I'm like, watch this, bang. So that happened a couple days this week, like the last, half. Look at this 1548. Look at the last 10 minutes. I had a bull put spread on that made max profit right there. Okay. Now, old Wiz, who wouldn't call and complain, they would have closed that trade down here. Me, I'm like, nope. Did you not look at the open interest at 4,100? It's a magnet, baby. And in the last 15 minutes, it ripped higher. Could have gone in the exact opposite direction, but I'm a pilot in command, man. I signed for my portfolio, and if it had gone the other way, I would have got kicked in the teeth. It didn't. So I can talk all of this stuff. I'll teach you how to snipe, and all these trades are in the Hunters and the Max Afterburner. I'll show you how today you can get a 45% discount in the Lifetime membership. And I'll show you the month-to-month option if the lump sum isn't available right now. Okay, that's enough. Let's go ahead. What else did I have to cover? Oh, thanks for the like I think we mailed out like 20 of these so far. These things are awesome. And look at this. There's AJ Buckley. Look at that text right there. Those are sick. I'm going to make that Sonny's hat for the season. So do you guys watch SEAL Team? I was going to say CBS SEAL Team, but it's not CBS SEAL Team. It's Paramount. So SEAL Team's on Paramount. And I should know this. Don't tell AJ I don't. But I guess each season he rotates his hat. Like it's a different hat each season. He's going to make the No Fallen Heroes hat his hat for the season. So that's pretty cool. Bull put spread sniper 40-65, 40-60. Well, let's just do it. And I was going to talk about managing the burner trade. Get out of these puts. These puts were up like $1,300 a couple seconds ago. Manage burner trade puts. I probably should have done that in the brief better, but remember, it's just like a bearish double vertical. What do I close first in a double vertical? The debit spread. Anything that doesn't like theta, anything that doesn't like time decay, you close that first. Okay, so I should have. I was sitting here waiting to brief, but we got a turn here up to 40.75. Let's focus on instructions. I don't need to snipe right now. But again, folks, this is what I do. If I wasn't talking to you right now, I'd do this for a little bit, and then I'd be going to the beach, the gym. I'm flying tomorrow twice, a couple donors. I don't live to trade, man. I snipe, make $6,400 so far this week on snipers, and I'm done. But manage these puts. If you can make at the low, 15 minutes ago when these were when the SPX was at the low, they were up $1,300, $1,200, $1,300. Close them. Get into them again. Close them. Get into them again. You can get in and out of these puts as they make profits. Okay, so again, I'll do a better job next time I put a burner trade on. But I kind of assume that people know how to manage those puts. Any questions on that? Any questions, concerns, smart remarks? Oh, by the ways, manage the puts. Don't manage them. Take profits. That's a better way to say it. When I say manage the puts, it means, hey, man, if they're blindingly green, close them. Right? And keep the bear call spread on. It's a credit spread. It's sitting there churning profits. JG, yeah, I'd keep them at the same date. Yeah. Unless, JG, something's going on where this trade's a month out? Unless, there's something going on today, like, holy shit, Joe Biden, in the hospital, God forbid, whatever, something really bad, you could buy daily puts, or you could go out a couple days. So for uniformity, you can keep it at the same, expiration. But if there's something going on, keep the bear call spread that's out a month up here, eating theta, and then dogfight in and out of some puts down here. Okay. All right. Well, a tactical start to my brief, but you got to do what you got to do. Great quote from Thomas Sowell. Some financial institutions may be considered too big to fail, but contemporary Western society may be too frivolous to survive. The Romans had bread and circuses to keep the masses passive and unthinking. We have electronic gadgets, drugs, and pornography. Like the Roman Empire, we too may decline and fail. There's no may. There's no may, folks. We are declining and we are failing. We are declining and we are failing. The decline started a long time ago. I'd say it started with Bill Clinton, the most powerful man in the world, cheating on his wife with an intern. This was before, essentially Al Gore really invented the internet and the Me Too movement and anything like this. The most powerful man in the world sleeping with an intern in the White House. Cigar, don't even want this as a family. webinar. I'm not even going to go into the details of it, but the sordidness of it. I was on active duty at the time, folks. Do you remember what, when he was getting in trouble, what his lawyers were going to do? His lawyers, because Paula Jones was suing him. You talk to the Arkansas State Troopers, man. Oh, we'd pull chicks over. Ma'am, you got to get in the limo. Why? Well, the governor wants to see you. Holy shit. So he was getting sued by a bunch of women, and what did the lawyers do? Well, we're going to say that as commander-in-chief, he's on active duty, right? So he runs the armed forces, so he's on active duty, so he's immune to these type of lawsuits while he's on. And who was it? Admiral Borda? No, he was CNO. I forget. Shalish Kashvili, whatever, raced to the White House and said, no, you don't want to do that. If you're on active duty, you're going to get court-martialed. Oh, all right. And remember, so the decline of this country kind of started. And then when he went into the Rose Garden, right, and all the Democrats supporting him after he got impeached, he didn't get impeached for an affair, folks. Look at that. Did you take your snipe? He didn't get impeached for an affair. He got impeached for lying. He got impeached for perjury, which is a crime. Anyway, it's over with, folks. We got, did you know that Alvin Braggs has like 17 sexual like allegations against him? It's all coming out. Look at that. Look at that bounce. Get out of the puts. Snipe when I told you to snipe. But I'm instructing right now. I posted this in the Max Afterburner and the Hunters the other day. Get long chips. We talked about this, I don't know, 6-8 months ago. I never did. I talked to one of my mastermind guys. He's like, where you been? Yeah, I'm like, well, this is kind of a big deal. So China waives rare earth magnet export ban. So, ladies and gentlemen, when, not if, when China invades Taiwan, either with hard force or soft force, 70% of the chips made in the world are in Taiwan. Okay. China, ladies and gentlemen, who owns all the rare earth reserves on the planet? China. So, ladies and gentlemen, when, not if, China decides to go, you know what? No more rare earth for anybody on the planet. The cost for a personal computer, the cost for a chip in your phone is going to be obscene. So, ladies and gentlemen, we talked about this years ago. I think it was under the Trump trade wars that were going on, and they're like, we might actually shut down all of our exports of all the rare earth minerals we have in our country. And I was like, I think that maybe that's the last time I talked about this. So this is back on my radar. What is it, SND, or what's the ETF for the chips? SMH. Shake my head. What the hell's wrong with me? You have got to buy, you can try and pick favorites. You can pick Intel, AMD, all the different ones. You can try and pick individual winners. It's up to you, but I would buy this with both hands. Not tactically, Eric. I'm talking synthetic stock, man. I would go out, folks, 2 years out into the future. Eli, expense is relative, isn't it? Why is divorce expensive? Because it's worth it. Ladies and gentlemen, 253 might seem expensive. What about in June of 25 when amphibious landing craft are streaming across the Strait of Taiwan? You want to, we might look back at 253 and when it's this ETS at $1,000. So, I get it. It might look expensive, but this is. We're an AR. I do this. I do this before ExxonMobil, guys. Grab grab a sip of coffee here. After that SPX, if you did the 4065, 4060, you should close it right now and get ready to shoot an opposite snipe. So, Chrissy, yeah, I stopped trading those years and years ago, but when, not if the dollar implodes, gold, all of them are going to go through the roof, or maybe they already have. I haven't looked at them in a long time. I have a lot of guys who trade the precious metals stuff, and they're like, dude, the crypto thing's a joke. Places, every place will take gold. Not every place will take, Dogecoin. Look at that run. And this is all a run based on what, folks? Breaking news. China just did a deal with Brazil, and it ain't in dollars. Breaking news, Saudi Arabia and China and Russia are doing deals that aren't in dollars, right? So I love the way you're thinking. So yes, the answer is yes. We're in AR. If you're looking out downrange, the world's getting worse, folks. This ain't getting better. Let me finish up here, and then we'll get tactical. So this is, I'll give you this. Yeah, absolutely. It's all a dollar. I don't think gold's moving at all with inflation. Inflation's been raging since Joe Biden took office. How about not Mnuchin, Joe Manchin? What a fucking idiot. He's an idiot. Him the other day. Oh, it turns out the inflation, he got, and they screwed him again on the pipeline thing. Okay, Chuck and Joe, Mr. President, if I vote for this Inflation Reduction Act, you're going to give me the drilling permits in West Virginia, right? Yeah. What did I tell? I looked into this camera and this microphone, and I said, what? And then what has happened? Lucy with the football. Joe Manchin's a fucking idiot. Oh, I got bamboozled. What an idiot. So, you didn't trust Chuck Schumer, Joe Biden? Or, I mean, you did. So anyway, folks, this isn't a sleeper story. If you're in the chip space, like some of my mastermind buddies, they look at me like, dude, where you been? You needed to get bullish on this when I told you to. I'm like, I don't know shit about the chip space. I do know about the China invading Taiwan space and how the cost of things are going to explode. No, I didn't call it out. It would be up at 4,100, just in case there's a rip your face off rally. The rest of it would have been 4,100, 4,105. Okay, how about this? Made in India iPhone surge as Apple moves production away from China. Aha. Apple last year accounted for 25% of the value of India's total smartphone shipments, up 12. It doubled. In 2020, COVID, India offered $7 billion in incentives if you relocated to India, the world's, quote, largest democracy, air quotes. So, good on, yeah, there you go. Marcus, my brother. It's time for the weekly Marcus check-in. So, exactly, Rick. It might come back to when in doubt, run to Ma. I'd say capital Ma, small a. When in doubt, run to Microsoft, Amazon, and Apple. That's the way I'd write it right now. Microsoft, Amazon, Apple. This might grow into a big A, but folks, I'd keep it a small A for now. Because again, if they can just wake up one day and go, iPhones are illegal and that could never happen. What are you, nuts? I showed you literally people in China. They're like, oh yeah, we hide our iPhones because it's un-Chinese. At the height of the trade war, when Tim Cook with his knee pads literally to Trump, the iPhones were a no-no in China. And then They were back. So in the blink of it, folks, what was it in Hong Kong with those protests? The Chinese government said, yeah, Apple, Tim Cook, our slave who uses our slaves, shut off the airdrop. Yes, sir. Remember that? Could you imagine Donald Trump going to Tim Cook, shut off the airdrop feature at these protests? How dare you? You know whose side they're on, folks, and it's not America's. Look at that. So I audibled 2 snipes where you could be making a couple grand in this brief so far. And this ain't hard. So if I wasn't in a live trade brief right now, we would have sniped twice. Look at that. Called out the bull put spread, called out the bear call spread, and it's already gapping down here. Okay. So did you see the jobless claims number? We got to dig into this, folks. The jobless claims explode higher after BLS revisions. Tech layoffs on a 2001 pace. What? 2001 pace. Can everybody say pets.com with me? Can everybody say Netscape? Come on, baby. Burn, baby, burn. Look at that. Why am I not getting the same candles on this screen? What settings are different on here? There's a massive leg down on this screen in SPX, and there isn't yet over here. I don't like that. That's why you need multiple screens. Ugly ISM this week. Dismal jolts on Wednesday. Warn notices. ADP print, was weak yesterday. This all should be bullish, right? I told you yesterday I'm confused. And when Wiz is confused, you need to sit up because it doesn't happen off. I'm not confused. I know exactly what I'm doing. Meaning the market is confused. Hold on. I've been telling you everything sucks. The underlying in this market sucks. However, if all the underlying sucks, it's bullish. Why? Because then Jerome's done. The bald legendary investor, whatever that guy's name, yesterday or 2 days ago on CNBC was like, what? He'll be cutting before there ain't no more rate increases. He's done. It's a cut. Holy shit. So I'm not confused. The market is trying to figure out, is bad news again? I don't know. I don't care. There it is, finally. Is bad news again? I don't know. It's starting to feel like bad news is bad news again. Again, Monday or Tuesday, when somebody asks, like, hey, did you close your June or May trade? I'm like, no. That's out here, man. And if anything, things are worse. We're getting to the point. This is why I love this stuff, but this is why things are so stupid now. So when, not if, Jerome pauses or cuts, technically that should be what? Bullish. But if Jerome pauses or cuts, folks, why is that happening? It ain't because he landed the plane safely. It's because things are bad. So now we're in this reverse psychology. You following? You should be, because it makes total sense to me. There was a month, I'll never forget this, back in 2013. I got my ass handed to me. Why? Because Ben Bernanke was doing Ben Bernanke. I'm like, folks, he's doing this because things are shitty. This market's wrong. You were wrong, Wiz, and I was. It wasn't a month. It took me like a week or two to go, okay, done. So that's old me. That's not new me. That's 10 years ago me, who's a hell of a lot smarter now. So we gotta, again, I wake up in the morning and I piss excellence, and I'm going to take some penicillin for that. So you can have the May or June trudges on and be tactical like you read about up. I'm not even talking leaps, man. I'm talking this is what you need to do. Well, you don't need to do anything. This is what I need to do. I need to have my we're all going to die on, and I need to have the 3 sniper shots that I took this week. What were they? They were all bullish. What? You can't be. I can't. The hell I can't. I can be bullish for an hour before I go to yoga. This is tactical. This ain't. It's funny because, no offense if you're new here, but a lot of people obviously are here because what? 2021. Yeah. Yay. Holy shit. What's going on? Exactly. I had 7-figure portfolios, folks, with this. Duh. This. What we're in is where I'm a hell of a fucking dog fighter. Just ask me. This is what you need to be doing because things are awful. Bank failures, high inflation, rising rates. Is the resilient jobs market about to crack? It's cracked. For the past 2 earnings cycles, have you not seen Wiz looking in this camera and go, did you, Mark Zuckerberg, the bottom third of you shouldn't be here. Beep, beep. Amazon, there's 10, there's another 10, here's 19. Twitter, 60% of you don't come in. Folks, the Wall Street Journal's, I feel like Bruce Willis and Die Hard. Welcome to the party, pal. Where you been, Wall Street Journal? It's already cracked. How many times in these briefs have I told you, where's Joe Biden or Jean-Claude Van Damme been lately at a press conference? This jobs market's on fire. You haven't heard shit from them. So again, my commit criteria for June or May trudges hadn't changed. Let me hedge that. Let me trudge my trudge, folks. May, a month from now, Jerome's he's got 25 left in him. He has to. He should have 50 or a full. If he did a full, he'd be done. But he's a coward, right? It's transitory. The smartest fucking people. I'm joking, clearly. The president to Jerome to Janet. It's transitory. Have you filled your car up? Oh, that's right, Joe. Your Corvette or whatever you keep in your Rehoboth or whatever garage next to all your classified documents where your crackhead son was paying you $40,000 a month for rent. Could you imagine if that was Donald Trump Jr.? He's a crackhead. He lied on his federal firearms application, and his dad had classified shit in the garage. Ain't a skiff. Didn't have Secret Service agents around it. Changed the name from Trump to from Biden to Trump. Breaking news: Donald Trump Jr. has been arrested by the ATF for lying on his federal. The worst sentence that I never want to hear again for the rest of my life, that it makes me vomit for the past week, is no one's above the law. The fuck they're not. James Clapper committed perjury. Is the CIA spying on Americans? Nope. Months later, I misspoke. Hillary Clinton. Yeah, we're not going to use the State Department servers. I'm going to have my own server, and I'm going to fucking send and receive top secret shit. Any former military officer at Top Gun Options did that, we'd be in Leavenworth. But that's all right. Anyway, no one's above the law. It's so stupid to say because we all know that's not the truth. I told you the other day that Barack Hussein Obama should be charged with murder. He killed 3 United States citizens. They were on a battlefield. I'm sorry. You must have a newer constitution than me. Nowhere in there does it say the president. I'm pretty sure the dudes that wrote that thing, if they wanted the president to be able to kill Americans, especially in war, they would have wrote it down. They didn't. There's a Bill of Rights. There's due process. You are, unlike Nancy Pelosi's beliefs, you are innocent until the government proves you guilty. Barack Obama judge, jury, executioner. I should run for local district attorney, and I would charge that man with murder. And I would quote the former Speaker of the House and say, well, he can prove his innocence in court. That's the way our system works, I would say to the camera. Because they're cowards, Eric. How many times have I told you all that Republicans suck? They play flag football. Democrats don't care. Rick, I can't take the pay cut, man. Stocks haven't looked this unattractive since 2007. Isn't it funny that the Federal Reserve building has like barriers up around it? We're too busy printing money to bail out our friends. I'm kidding, Rick. I mean, Rick, right? You know, if I would actually run for Congress so I could I wouldn't insider trade. I'm getting this on tape. This is a public brief. I'll make this one public. I would outsider trade. Like I did with the COVID crash. Dude, here's what's going on. Holy shit. Are you kidding me? Yeah. United States senators. Here's what's going on. United States senators outside of that room to a microphone and cameras. Everything's great, folks. Remain calm. Nothing to worry about. Yeah. Sell everything and tell all our family and friends to sell everything right now. Matthew Buckley, call sign Wiz, told you. I told everybody. I would outsider trade. Could you imagine? So maybe I will do this so I can trade. Or I won't trade. My wife will do it for me. I will use the Pelosi precedent. We don't need any rules against Congress people trading because I don't trade. My husband, Paul, in his underwear with his lover trades. Occasional hammer fights. And you know what I mean by hammer. Amazon partners with De Beers to grow fake diamonds for quantum computing. Wow. Cue Death Star music. They take over everything they touch. So this actually made me back to neutral on the whole chip thing. I love the fact that somebody's doing business consulting or contingency planning, finally going, well, if Taiwan, not if, when Taiwan gets invaded and is back to being with China, how do we make computers? Let's use fake diamonds. Okay. I like this. Bullish on Amazon. All right, let's get tactical. The Amazon Iron Condor is looking good. Any questions on the Amazon Iron Condor? Kind of been briefing it. Manage it. And again, like I was talking about with the burner trade, when I use the word manage it, that means what? Take profits. I think we covered this yesterday, maybe. Again, the week's been a year. I think the bull put was up 50, 60%. Did I close that? Where's my trade notes? I can't even remember. God, it's been a week. I think I put in I put in an order to close. I don't know if I got filled. It's in the solo Amazon portfolio. So don't know. If you did close it, you can get into a new bull put spread. Any questions on how to manage an iron condor? Everybody give me a vertical head nod that you understand managing an iron condor. Okay? You don't manage an iron condor. You manage individual spreads. You manage the bull put spread, and you manage the bear call spread. In horror news and not so shocking news about the Catholic Church, a report that was just released shows astonishing depravity in sexual abuse of more than 600 in Baltimore. Did you ever see the Netflix show, The Keepers. My mom, who makes the Pope look Jewish, was in tears. She doesn't want to believe these things about the Catholic Church. Watch The Keepers on Netflix. Well, I'm not going to say anything else. How about that? But let's just say that this hits close to home, and I'm going to leave it at that. The Catholic Church is a criminal organization. Did everybody read The Immortality Key? The Greeks, psychedelics, the Kukan, they traveled once a year. They made a pilgrimage to Eleusis, sitting right there. I got to get him on my podcast. You communicated with your creator on your own, man. Here comes Christianity in like a plague. And women were the priestesses. They were of Mother Earth. They were the spiritual leaders. Here comes Christianity, man, with a sword. Chicks, second-class citizens. Dudes in charge. That thing talks to me. I'll tell you what that thing says. You don't do it on your own. And by the way, give me 10% of everything you own for the right to hear what that thing has to say to me. How dare you? Why did I bring that? Oh, this is part of to the right of my S&P 500. These are all my psychedelic. It's how I break up my my cockpit. Yeah, I got to reach out to him. Bart and I talked to him a while ago, and he's like, yeah, man. Pam, yeah, I could mushrooms be the drug to finally cure eating disorders? For young patients, lasting treatment can feel elusive. Psychedelics could change that. You guys, I was about to say waste time. How dare me talk like that? It is never waste. Look at that bear call spread sniper. It is never wasting time talking about healing bulimia, anorexia, PTSD, traumatic brain injury. Never a waste of time, Edward Matthew Buckley. I was about to say, you guys know where I am on all this stuff. You have got to be bullish on psychedelics. I get it that it's a lottery right now. I'm going to the Benzinga psychedelic conference down in Miami again to gather intel. This is you guys know me. I hate talking about money with this stuff, but if we're going to save lives, it would be nice to make money doing it too. That's cool. If you lead with your heart and your truth and saving lives, hey, man, isn't that weird? If you lead with your heart and truth, good things are happening. Wow. That doesn't make sense. So I get it. I'd love to see, what a difference a year makes with the space. But you guys know where I am, man. I showed you this last week. If you didn't get a chance to read it, it's a quick read. Cody, the healing. I'm glad that I can share a lot more stuff going on. But folks, this is you're not going to do MDMA in your doctor's office. I mean, you can. That's going to happen. I guarantee you. It's going to be like MDMA phase 3, finally, MAPS, Rick Doblin. Hopefully I'm sure he already has it, folks. He's been writing his victory speech for about 30 years. But when, not if, MDMA is approved for therapeutic use, I guarantee you the whole complex 2 blocks away from me at the Boca Raton Hospital is going to be like, ha, come on in and get. You really want to go to your doctor's office and sit on that table with the wax paper and do an MDMA journey? it's going to suck. I'm actually worried about that. I'm worried about the negative, right? I mean, Adderall's bad enough to, it's legal cocaine, right? Adderall. So can you imagine the stampede to MDMA? But good's going to come out of it, right? There was a good post on Maps the other day, Rick Dablin's Instagram, about some results from their phase 3. It's incredible. Again, if you watched How to Change Your Mind, the Johns Hopkins cancer study, 85%. No fear of death, quality of life through the roof for cancer, stage 4 cancer people. If it was 10, if it was 15, if it was 30, I'd be like, oh my God, those are fantastic numbers. Good for those people. 85? And again, here we are, having problems funding. Thank you for the folks that have donated recently, man. You bring a smile to my face. But 30 days out from trying to go to Costa Rica, I can't. I mean, we might not be going to Costa Rica, which sucks. I'm doing my best. Again, another reason I'm opening up the Lifetime this afternoon, because if I can make some money, I will fund. I will come out of pocket. It'll be easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven. Like my dad said, you can't take it with you, son. You're not a pharaoh. They don't put a dog in your casket and a bunch of gold coins. So anyway, why was I talking about this? Just bullish on psychedelics. What time is it? 42. We got time. I'm a little torn because I talked to my oil guy. He's like, he he gave me it's where you been. I love when my buddies do that. He said, wait a little bit. He's like, we've had a good run. We're probably going to pull back a little bit, but here's why I'm torn. You guys know what I believe about synthetic stock. If you're long-term bullish on something, are you really going to complain in 2 years from now when you're up 6 figures in a position like, I could have been up 6 figures? But I'll listen to him. Let's wait a little bit. He's like, just give it a couple weeks maybe. Or earnings. He brought up earnings. He's like, he's like, me? I hang out for a little bit. I'm like, all right, I'll keep an eye on it. So yeah, Barry, this is a known to me, folks. Did you see yesterday the president of Taiwan met with the Speaker of the House? I can't stand Kirby. Admiral Kirby. He's a public affairs officer. A fighter pilot lieutenant is equivalent to an admiral PAO. Trust me. And he was the PAO on the Blue Angels when my buddy was on there. He's like, dude, he was that guy to get onto the team, and then the mask fell off. So Kirby yesterday, she's not here she's not meeting with anybody in the administration. So the Chinese can't be too angry because it's not like an official. This exact quote, she's not meeting with anybody in this administration. So, it really shouldn't be a big deal. What the fuck did you just say? Kirby? Should be Herbie, like the elf that wants to be a dentist on Rudolph. I want to be a dentist. Herbie doesn't want to make toys. So Herbie, what did you just say? She's meeting with the United States of America's Speaker of the House. Third in line to the presidency. President, Vice President, Speaker. Not Al Haig. I'm in charge. The Speaker of the House. She's not meeting with anybody important. So how dare you? So, oh, nice, Eli. When did you post that? See, this is why you want to be in the Max Afterburner group. Eli, a member of the best hedge fund on the face of the planet, said, "Hey, man, I did my homework on ExxonMobil." Eli listened. I said, "Hey, man, do some homework." Eli did his homework. Nice job, Eli. Well, oh, it's probably over here in the. Oh, there it is. Nice. So, Eli, see, this is why you want to be in one of these teams. Get ready to reload. So, close your bear sniper on SPX and get ready for a bullish sniper. So during today's brief, when I called out the snipers, and if you took them, I don't know if you did 15 contracts, you'd probably be up $2,500. It was probably 1250 and 1250 on each one of those turns. Look at this. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this ain't rocket surgery. I'm a political science major from South Jersey. This was technical. 246, fire, rollover, 2-4 confirmation. So I called out a bull put spread here, and I called out a bear call spread here. And then before this just bounced, I said, what? Get ready for a new bull put spread. Again, I put these in the Max Afterburner and the Hunters. If I wasn't talking and ranting, I would have been sitting here with my coffee doing those trades. But let's get back on target. See, I'm staying in instructor mode, not trader mode. I like this better. Let's do this. Excuse me. Could not be long-term more bullish on semiconductors. You have to, folks. Let's red team this before we even start talking. Breaking news. Taiwan's president and Xi Jinping have met, and they agree that Taiwan's its own country, and they love each other. Do you all know how many countries on the face of this planet recognize Taiwan as an independent nation? Does anybody know the number? Don't Google it. What's the number of how many countries? It's more than 0. More than 7. 13. JG Googled it. Although JG nailed the Amazon earnings to the penny 1 quarter and got to fly in the fighter jet. So JG's probably nailed it. So 13. So, before I put any trade on, I red team my own stuff. So I just red teamed it. That's not going to happen. So let's get long-term. I know you did. Let's get long-term bullish. I trust you, JG. Long-term bullish synthetic stock. It's going to be quick because you should already know how to do a synthetic stock. Sell by, what is that? 250 call. No. You almost died after the last one, dude. Nice try. What's 20%? That's 50. That's 200. We'll buy the 200 put. Yeah, you can Google it, Rick. You're allowed to Google it now. Find out which countries. Hey, you know what, Rick? Let me know. Does the U.S. do we view it as its own country? Yeah, we're one of them, right? Or do we just say it's a independent? I forget, dude. So there you go. Let's learn something together, folks. Cruising by Taiwan. That's what I thought, Dennis. Cruising by Taiwan. I've taken part in the defense of Taiwan exercises, so I should know this. All right, so this ain't cheap, right? So I'm going to sell a June 25 250 put. I'm going to buy a same expiration 250 call. That's synthetic stock right there. Boom. But that's a lot of risk. So I'm going to buy 20% underneath this ETF, a protective put. Yes, you're right, Dennis. How stupid. We believe in the one China policy. But that's so dumb. How do you defend Peter Doocy, the only reporter left in Washington, again, pressed the press secretary. Does Joe Biden still say he's going to put boots on the ground to defend Taiwan? Oh, we're not going to comment on that. What do you comment on, lady? Transgenders are under attack. Oh my God, a Christian attacked a transgender school and killed those people? Disgusting. So, Gabriel, like I said a little while ago, you can do this, man. Here's what you can do. Let's just do this real quick. So, what you do, Gabriel, is you do that. You can do this and pick winners. You can go and here is what's in the SMH. NVIDIA, Taiwan Semiconductors, Intel, ASML, AMD, blah, blah, Qualcomm, blah, Texas Instruments. Just like, we used to trade XLY in Amazon because Amazon was a $3,000 stock. Then it split and it's down to where I think XLY is more expensive. So if you want to shrimp are a vehicle for eating cocktail sauce. If you want the cocktail sauce, it's the ETF. If you want to pick individual shrimp to eat, then pick individual shrimp to eat. So the answer is yes. You could build, Gabriel, you could build your own ETF, right? You know what, Wiz? I like NVIDIA, Intel, and Qualcomm. I'm making my own little ETF. Do synthetic stock on individual names. Me, I'm not smart. I know. No, I'm not going to say that. I'm familiar. Yes, I will say that. I'm familiar with obviously all these companies, but this isn't solo Amazon where I go, I know exactly what's going on in Broadcom. I don't know shit. I know it's big and it does shit, but so I am an ETF guy in this case over trying to pick individual winners. With my luck, breaking news, Broadcom CEO is a pedophile and the stock's at zero. Oh, shit. And that's the one I picked. So, all right. So this is, let's sell a front month upside call against this. I am recording the brief, but I can give you the link. If you're not, we could just sell one of these, but that's like $50, isn't it? Whoa. Yeah, it's only like $50. The April 6th, but Okay, so this is the trade that I would do right now. On your screen is synthetic stock with a protective put, and then I sold a tomorrow, a little close to, a dollar out of the money call against it. Synthetics, technically, this is called a synthetic collar. I mean, we can call this a bunch of different things. Synthetic stock, protective put, a covered synthetic stock, a collar. You could do that. You could call it whatever you want. Just don't call me late for dinner. Exactly, Gary. Breaking news, the CFO of whatever Shrek. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Shrek. Yeah, I'm sorry. Tomorrow's Good Friday. You're right. April 6th is today. Everybody say hi to Shrek. There is Shrek, ladies and gentlemen. He got a purple heart, man. Shrek is alive. Look at him lurking in the background like a creeper. Sitting there in his crash pad, creeping out on us. Did I grab a screenshot of this yet? Dude, when are you getting met up, man? So Shrek, hopefully not being met up right now, is sitting here taking some sniper shots and making some money. Good to see my brother Shrek. SMH46. Mid-June. Oh, bro, that's fantastic. You got to be, dude. I had, one of my best friends from high school is a 777 captain at FedEx. That morning, he's like, oh, Shrek. I'm like, what the fuck? Dude, you are famous at FedEx, man. All right, file, save as SMH46. Oop, 46 metric. So you can, this is just one. There are other semiconductor ETFs out there. You can kind of go around and do your own research. This is the largest, right? The VanEck semiconductor ETF. So, yeah, I forgot. Today is tomorrow's. For F's sake. All right, I got to move this out of AR. Or I'm in primary right now. I will. I actually do have enough over in AR, so I'll go put this in AR, folks. Good old Shrek, man. Dude survives like the Battle of Fallujah and he gets shot in Memphis. Only Shrek. Shrek, you need to get your L39 type rating, man. We need you to come down and fly for the foundation, man. Get your G back on. So, yeah, man. Would love to have you. The kid's gonna get his type rating. I think Aaron. Yeah, the more the merrier, man. Going to Sun and Fun and shit like that, I enjoy, but I'd rather spread the wealth, man. I'd rather, if we can get folks get their type rating in the L39, you guys can fly it. I'm good. I got to be honest with you, man. Flying two donors tomorrow morning, I'm like, fuck, I don't have the band. I don't have the time. I trying to raise money and shit like that. You would think that going to fly in I feel like I'm back in the fleet. When I was like the legal officer, the maintenance, I was like 9 jobs. And I'd look forward to flying a combat sortie over Iraq to get away from my work. It's so funny. Shrek said he was in bed by himself. I totally don't believe that. Who was the lucky guy, Shrek? You know what? Just watch the replay because I'm going to make a special offer. I don't want to give like my special offer away to this. Just watch the replay if you can't make it. I swear I'll send it out this afternoon, the replay from today, because I'll give you a 45% break because I need to fund this Costa Rica trip, man. And it sucks. No, it doesn't suck. Everything's great. Even when it's not great, it's great, right? Everything's fine. Susie's podcast. It's fine. It's always fine. Make sure you check out this one, man. I thought I was on fire on 56. I listened to this one last night. I'm like, dude, you're in the zone. I got to get back to the medicine work, though, folks. This is I can't. You can't drop anchor on this shit. Everything that's going on. Like I told you this week, you got to care for your family and your friends. Other than that, man, Chicago. Here's Mayor Lori Lightfoot, Beetlejuice. Here's the dude that they elected on the other side to the left spectrum of her. You can't get any more liberal and progressive than that dude. He makes Lori Lightfoot look conservative. I don't care anymore. I don't give a fuck about Chicago. I don't. And that's sad. That's ego talking. But I can't. I live in the free state of Florida, man, and I love it. New York, San Francisco, that tech executive, the Cash App guy, stabbed to death on the streets of San Francisco. Nobody deserves that. Period. Not comma, period. Period. However, the dude supported all the policies that allows people like that to roam the streets of San Francisco. He didn't deserve that, but, I can't, you just do the sad parent right now. Don't touch the stove. It's hot. You're walking closer to the stove. I told you it's hot. Oh, you burnt your hand? Where is it's not posted yet. I can give you the link. Where is it? Yeah, I'll give you the link to the video. It's somewhere in here. Wherever it went. Yeah, I'll get it to you, Eric. She's our social media team's getting ready to post it on on YouTube. All right, guys, I got to go. Please join me at 1 o'clock if you're not in the Lifetime and the exactly, Barry. Well, and even if there were bystanders, there ain't nobody in San Francisco pitching in to help out. You know it as well as I do. I see videos almost once a week of people getting the shit beat out of them. A lady getting beat up on the subway in New York, and the dudes sitting there on their phones. Are you insane? Chivalry is dead in this country, man. Bunch of beta males and people that just aren't even though I say that about Chicago, if I was in Chicago and I was seeing somebody in distress, of course you run to the sound of gunfire. You run to the sound of people needing help. At least some of us do. All right, I got to get going, guys. I'll post a replay here shortly. Synthetic stock on SMH. I got to go put that in the AR portfolio. But join me at 1 o'clock to get into the investment clubs, man. If I had shot a couple more snipers when I told you to shoot them, we'd be looking at close to, $8 to $9 grand in 4 days of trading. And I can't. I thank God we came up with these 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, because this is awesome. I felt lonely doing this shit by myself. Lonely making money. I love helping other people make money. So I agree, Paul. Was it hard times make weak men? Blah 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 blah. It's a cycle, man. It's a cycle. Buy ammo, stock up on water, and be prepared. So, all right, guys. I'll see you at 1 o'clock. God bless. Fights on. Happy Easter. Tomorrow's Good Friday, right? It's there is hope. There's always hope, man. I mean, I hope my brothers and sisters on the quote other side of the aisle in this country connect again to source, truth, divine. God loves everybody, man. In my opinion, everybody. God does not make imperfect things. Everybody's perfect. That cosmic stardust that was born out of the ultimate act of love in a flash, and here we are. What you do after that flash is on you, but I believe that God ain't sitting there going, man, I don't like that soul anymore. That's physically impossible to me. That's why all the transgender stuff, God hates that. God loves everybody. Jesus, do you think Jesus today would be shunning those people? There would be love, but you don't need to shove it down, so to speak. You don't need to shove it down my throat, man. You do you. I love you. You do you. Don't force shit on me. Then we're going to have a problem. Now we got a problem. And don't force shit on children. The weakest of among us. Don't force shit on children. It was the Catholic Church. Now it's this is the new religion, folks. The left and progressive. Wear the jersey. I love the NHL starting to really come around like, you know what? I'm not going to wear that fucking thing. The same people who were like, how dare you not wear this Pride Night jersey on your NHL team are the same people who were frothing at the mouth supporting NFL players for kneeling. Oh, so let me get this straight. You support the kneeling and them to go against the system, but they have to wear the Pride jersey. It's non-negotiable. Fucking hockey players are like, no. Anyway, all right, guys. I'll see you at 1 o'clock. Otherwise, happy Easter, God bless, or Passover for all and all the holy stuff for all my Jewish brothers and sisters. God loves everybody, man. God loves you. I love you guys. Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge. Fights on. Namaste. Basi, basi. And I'll see you at 1 o'clock if you're interested in Lifetime. Fights on.